Hello, everyone. This time I have one question for you. Have you noticed that the new business are from really younger people? That every time there's new business in everywhere, and all the people that is in charge of them, they're really young people, and it's in everywhere. Now with the social networks, there is really a stable job, and that it's really crazy. And now I'm going to talk you about something that it's on my own experience. That is when I start work. I'm 19 years old. I'm Alejandra Farias. I'm going to talk about the same ending with a different story. There is my own experience. I was 2 months away from my 19th birthday, and I felt that I have too much free time that I didn't want to keep asking my parents to give me money for I can buy my stuff that I want to. Without them knowing, I started sending my resume to many companies to by email so I can find a job. And when a company contacts to me for an interview, I get panic. I get panic because I have no way to go to that interview without my parents um, finding out. So I plugged up the courage and told my parents that I want to start working. Of course, my parents get crazy because I'm her first daughter. So it's the first experience that they have here with me in this context for stop depending of them in case of money. So they get crazy. They say that it can be possible that I want to have a job because I was so little, so on. So my parent told me that if I want to start working, I have to start working in his business. He have his own business, and I didn't want to because I feel that it was depending of his money instead of I have work or not. It's going to be his money. So I say that no, that I want to have my own job. We have a really long talk, and they tell me like, okay, you can find a job, but you have to find it before you have 19 years old. If not, you have to work with me, my dad said. So I was like, okay, 2 months, I can't find a job, so it's no problem, I will find a job. I'm not going to work with you. So that was the um, deal. That was the deal. So the time starts to run, and I just have 1 month to search a new job. And all this time, I have just 4 interviews of really good companies for my first job, and I have no received a response from anyone. And the time was running, and I really need an answer. So I was so desperate to find an answer. So I started calling them back and asking them if they have an answer positive for me. And um, most of the time they told me like I have no experience. I am really young for them. So the time passed, and I have a really new job. I started working with my father just for feel to fulfill his terms. And when I started the first day I started, I was really feared, and with everyone expecting a lot from me because they saw me as the daughter boss. She's going to make a lot of things. She's going to learn a lot. We are going to learn a lot from her. And I was like, without noting anything. And now I have been working there 2 years, more than 2 years, and I really like it. I love it. I'm really good at it. I love what I do. I'm learning a lot. I want to learn a lot, and this is how I can explain my experience to you that the same ending is going to have a really different stories, different ways to find it out. But you have to be relaxed, patient to find something that you want to have to be close of the way you find it. So This is my story. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learn something from me of what you have to pass through um, for a specific ending. Now I'm going to explain how I make this presentation. A really short presentation, but I think this is most pointly uh, of the points that I want to express to you. So first of all, how I become an effective presenter. Of course, you need to practice to be assertive. What points do you have to know? Um, to what point do you have to talk about, like or emphasize, also the contact to have something of connection with your audience, the use of my voice that is different tones and volume, also to breathe and drink, to have pauses, to don't be all in the same way, to don't have everything like really quickly and understandable. And the steps that I use to prepare myself for a presentation to determine the purpose and the objectives that I hope in the TED Talk that I do are really clear. Also to know my audience, I know that it's going to have two type of audience: the students that can hear my TED Talk and have a connection with the experience to find a job, also with the pressure to improve yourself, um, also to define the topic. That is really important because you can start with that. Without that, arrange the material to make sense, the presentation, the colors, also the images, to compose all the presentation with all the elements to create visual aids that you are looking at. To practice your presentation, that is really important because you are going to have mistakes, but without practice, is going to be a lot of mistakes you're going to have. um, to make adjustments and analyze the room of the presentation where you're going to present it and how you're going to present it, and practice. That is the most important part of a presentation to have an effective presentation. The communication, there are 5 points really pointedly that you have to know for a presentation. There is message, what you want to say for the people, the noise that you can have in the background, like cars or something like that. If you notice, I don't have any noise because I'm recording really early, so I hope I try to avoid any noises. The feedback, that is nothing that can be a distractor, and the context and the channel, how you're going to present, for who you are going to present, and where you are going to present. There is three questions that is complete these 2 points. That is really important to know how to make or how to do your speech for the people and can pay attention. That I try to focus on these 5 points for this presentation. For a good presentation, also there are some tools that I use, the technology tools, of course, for the presentation, for the recording, the camera, the sound. There are technology tools to prepare all the content, to have all the information that I can use, all the information that I need, to have it, not exactly all the information in the presentation, but yes, to know it. The images that are according to the presentation, that the colors doesn't have a lot of contrast. Also the simplicity, to don't have all you're going to say in the text that you're going to have in the presentation because it's going to be a lot. And also the preparation for this is practicing, that how I already know. I practice a lot for this video, to don't have too much mistakes. And the confidence about yourself, I really think that it's something really important for you to express in a confidence way of yourself, because that's why how the people is going to believe your words. So this is something I really practice for this to have the most part practice so I can be more confident about myself. Now, the public speaking, there are six points that I use here in my presentation to have an effective presentation. There is the speak tone. You don't have the same speak tone with everything I say. The breathing and irritation, there is something that I already said that I use it. Have pauses so you can understand to me. The volume, clarity, pauses, and emphasize is something that are together so you can understand something really important that I want to you to pay a little bit more attention, or is really or is something little more important, so you can understand it more with emphasize different volume to be clear and to have pauses so you can understand me. To prepare myself so I can use notes when I don't remember how do you say a word. Also, with an important point that is really specific and really important to continue the story, to continue the object, to get to the objective. And I have it here so I don't forget it. Also, is how I already said is individual aids, but you can see it aids for myself. And the range slides according to topics. The images, I try to have all the images and the text according of the topic. Um, so it have to be also for be logic. It have to be all according of the topic. Also the text with the topic, the images with the topic, and also the text with the images. And the overview, there are 3 points that I use here. The plan and prepare, that I have all in order, I have all the information possible. And the most difficult part that I have here is what I have to talk about, what I can give from me to you so you can learn something, or you can think, overthink something. To perform, to practice, the practice to avoid mistakes. I practice a lot to try to make the less mistakes I can. To be persuade, I try to make the connection with my audience. There are two different points. When the experience that you want to remember, you remember when you try to have independence of your parents in case of money. Also, when that you remember when you try to get a job that is not really easy. And also another point that I want to talk about is the pressure of yourself to improve. And that is not bad, but you cannot be bad with you, bad with yourself, because you are not improving like you suppose you're going to do. Is um, little steps that you are going to improve. And that was the connection that I tried to do with my audience. And I hope you enjoy my presentation. I hope you understand what I try to transmit with you with my TED talk, and you can recognize all the process that a presenter have to do to have an effective presentation, and all the speak that they prepare that is also in a process that I show what process I have. So I hope you enjoy it, and this is going to be my last presentation of this course.